Hello, everybody, and welcome. I feel like I gotta sit on the couch and be ready to go. But welcome to the brand new Inside Edge Podcasting Network. I'm so excited. I'm Anthony Alford. It's great to be here with you, and I have two of the talents that you're gonna see, you're gonna hear, you're gonna love or hate, but I think you'll love them both. And they're ready to go. And here's the thing. Chad's here. TK's here. You see their names, and you hear them. And you're going to hear them in just a bit. And listen, guys, I'm just going to say this. I know on episode one of anything, of day one, it's like, let's go through the icebreaker. Let's do that. I hate that. I don't think the fans want to, sit there and be like, what's the life story and stuff. We'll get there. But here's my icebreaker. You've come here for good content, and gentlemen, I think the fans are ready. What do you think?
Let's do it.
Yeah, I'm ready to go. Definitely ready to go.
I think we're all ready to go. All right, let's get things started here. Of course, believe it or not, as we're recording this Inside Edge NFL preview show, two NFL games have already taken place, including last night. And I first heard the score of last night's Kansas City. LA, don't call me San Diego Chargers. And and the first thing I thought of, I heard man, this is a high scoring game. And then I listened more on the radio. It's 13-12. Wait a minute, what's going on?
Yeah, that first half was definitely a snore fest. You think after the Quentin Johnston touchdown, you didn't have much movement on offense from the Kansas City Chiefs. They stalled out. They actually stalled out their first three drives. I think somewhere between the first and second drive, Xavier Worthy ended up getting injured, ran into Travis Kelce, ended up missing the rest of that game. So they had to turn to Marquise Brown, who actually had 99 yards receiving last night. So, it was just a bit of a slow start for the.
It's week one for everybody, including us.
Definitely. We expect it.
I'll tell you what, though. Who was it? Carter for Philadelphia. His week one got started in an explosive way with spitting. I've never heard more analysis on spitting.
I have never seen a guy get ejected within 6 seconds of a game.
That was wild.
Yeah, that was much.
That was pretty efficient as far as getting ejected goes.
Right. And it's.
Go ahead, T-Bone.
All right. And the thing that I wanted to say about Spitgate was that this whole thing was because of Dak Prescott. This whole thing started because of Dak Prescott. Granted, the loogie wasn't the size of Jalen Carter's. It's still the principle of the thing that matters. You hawk to me first. So now I'm going to – it just happened that the ref was right there in the frame. Jalen didn't see him. If he'd have saw him, I don't think he would have did it. But, for future references, if the guy spits at you, I just slap the shit out of him. If you spit on him, you're going to get ejected. If you smack him upside his face, you're going to get thrown out too. What the hell difference does it make? Just smack him in his mouth.
I mean,
I
can't imagine anybody's comfortable getting spit at, man. I get it.
I
didn't know. I saw Dak. I didn't realize Dak spit first. I saw the replay and I saw him spit. I didn't know if it was really at Jalen Carter, but it doesn't matter, man. I mean, obviously tensions were high. The moment was kind of heated.
Right.
I don't know that it warranted the reaction that Carter gave, but who knew? Who knew Jalen Carter had bars? He was spitting out there. Who knew?
Yeah. Yeah. Listen, I don't think the bar is gonna go through platinum. So you're in good shape. All right, let's get started. We got a lot to talk about here on this broadcast as we get set for the 2025 NFL season. And I want to go, each of us, the top storyline for this NFL season. And the cool thing about our network, we're going to cover Browns, but we're also covering the entire scope of the National Football League. You're going to see some other great programming as well on the Inside Edge Network. Our socials are at the bottom of the screen there too. So bear with us as we are getting this thing started. But again, we got a lot of great talent, great stuff, great exciting stuff. I'll lead off on the top storyline of 2025. For me, and really, this is the benefit of doing the show on Saturday. What is stopping the Philadelphia Eagles from becoming a dynasty? Yeah, Philly. And here's what I'm thinking. I know Jalen Hurts does not get the proper respect that maybe he deserves. But I remember back in the day, for the longest time, played NCAA football 2007. And you might say, wait a minute, you're using a video game reference here. Just shut the heck up. But here's what I'm thinking. If you have a quarterback who is a really, really great passer, Jalen Hurts has no problem delivering a deep ball. I think he's a very accurate quarterback. If you have an accurate passer who can run, and the New York Giants gift wrapped at you Saquon Barkley. Defensively, what can you stop? Like, you have to account for Hurts. You have to account for Barkley. Oh, A.J. Brown's pretty good. Devontae Smith's pretty good. Like, they have weapons across the board. Defensively, who can you stop? And listen, we've been talking about the tush push for the last 3, 4, 5 years. Yep. The NFL always has rules to try to stop certain things. Nobody has figured it out. Still, nobody has figured it out. Yep. And I don't think that Super Bowl this past year was a fluke. I think the way that it went down, and I stand by this even if Kansas City wins next week against Philly. Yeah. I think Philly is the best team in football. Maybe the NFC is a bit tougher, but I think Philly is the best team in football. I think if Philly and Kansas City faced off in the Super Bowl 10 times, I think 8 out of 10 Philly will win.
Okay.
I think they're that good. And for me, that's my top storyline. Who is going to stop Philadelphia from having a generational run at a dynasty?
Yeah, I definitely believe that it can happen. They definitely have a talent. Definitely, we think of some of the more prominent dynasty Super Bowl teams, not just regular Super Bowl winning teams. You think about what the Washington Redskins were able to do in the 80s and 90s. You think about how the Baltimore Ravens were able to win their Super Bowl. I just said dynasty. I'm sorry about that. But at the same time, we know that it starts in the trenches. The Philadelphia Eagles, by far, have the most talented offensive line and defensive line, regardless of the antics from Jalen Carter on Thursday night. That talent on that front line is unbelievable. I thought Jordan Davis struggled a little bit early on. He'll get more into the form of what they need him to be, which is a run-stopping defensive tackle with some pass-rushing specialists sprinkled in there. You got the guys on the edge. Nolan Smith looked decent. You expect a little bit more from him as well. You're just looking for guys to pick up the slack from where this team left off last year. Obviously, losing Brandon Graham, can hurt a bit, but at the same time, I do think they have more than enough talent to run through the NFC yet again, not only becoming champions of the NFC East, but getting another ring as well. So
yeah, I mean, they're big, they're strong, they're physical on both sides of the line, and the thing is, the defensive line, they can get home. And that's the biggest thing right now. I mean, that's how you help out your secondary, right? You got to have a front seven that can get home. You got to get to the quarterback, and that's the biggest thing. I mean, I think they're probably the best team in the NFL at getting to the quarterback. At least, maybe not sacks, whatever, but just getting that pressure on the quarterback, flushing them out of the pocket, making them uncomfortable. That's the biggest thing that I saw from Philly last year in that Super Bowl. And Patrick Mahomes just never got a chance to settle in and make any plays. I mean, they were on him the whole game, and that's the key. I mean, that's tough to stop. You got to go. I mean, and really, you were talking about the offense too, Double A. I mean, you got to go the Dan Lanning mode. You got to put 12 guys out there on the field to try to stop him, right? Hope nobody counts. I mean, it's a lot to account for, man. You got to use a quarterback spy. There's so much you have to do to stop them on both sides of the ball. It's terrifying, really, when you look at it.
Guys, I'll give you a little bit of a basketball analogy. It may not strike the same, but bear with me here. If you guys, you guys remember the mid-2000s NBA, the finals was obviously the Cavs and Warriors, the glory days of the NBA.
Yeah.
But when that series turned was when Kevin Durant, ruined his legacy and wants people to apologize for it. F him. When he joined Golden State, it was Golden State was gift wrapped a generational talent on a team that was already championship caliber.
Yeah.
When the Giants basically gave Saquon Barkley to Philadelphia, they handed them a generational talent.
Yep.
And it's the same thing. Now, again, I'm not disrespecting the other NFC teams. I think the Commanders are going to be good, even though they got a tough schedule this year. But I think they're going to be good. I do think Dallas showed something on Thursday, and who knows what would have happened if there was no delay.
Yeah.
Green Bay is a Super Bowl contender now with Micah Parsons. And, Detroit is still the real deal.
Don't forget about the 49ers. The 49ers, I think, take a huge step forward this year.
San Francisco has a very easy schedule.
Yes, they do.
And if they can stay healthy, the Niners will be in the conversation. But I just think Philadelphia, and you guys talked about it defensively, and they're young too. Once they figure out themselves defensively, it's over. It's over. And then on offense, they have the perfect formula. I don't know who can stop them. I really don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you talk about the Philadelphia Eagles' offense. That offensive line is immaculate. You go down the line. Jordan Mailata, Tyler Steen, Cam Jurgens, Landon Dickerson, Lane Johnson, the best right tackle in all of football. Shout out to Penei Sewell. He's right there, right on his heels. These guys can control the game from the trenches, and that is the most important thing. It doesn't matter if Jalen Hurts throws for 250 yards or if he stalls out at 102. It does not matter. You've got to have those guys up front to protect and to pay dividends in all aspects of your running game. Saquon Barkley didn't have the masterclass game that we're expecting of him, but it was definitely a balanced attack. A lot of people get on Jalen Hurts for not throwing the football that much. A.J. Brown, 1 reception for 8 yards. Devontae Smith, 16 yards. So, listen, it's week 1. We're still working out the kinks. You're going to have games like this, especially when you have an offensive line that is dominant as the Philadelphia Eagles. You do not need to exceed 35 pass attempts a game. And if you do, you must ask, what is the issue here?
Yeah.
Accomplish.
100%.
We have the talent. We got the perimeter. The seam is always going to be locked up with Dallas Goedert as their tight end 1. And also Grant Calcaterra as the backup. He's been getting a lot of looks lately as well. It's just, listen, the stats are going to be there, especially with a team like Philadelphia. Yeah. We can't get caught up in he does not have. They will find a way to beat you in the end.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I do agree. I do agree that could be.
The Eagles to run with it. See what happens.
Yeah, I do agree. Like that could be the case. Again, thank you guys for joining us. Our first live shows, just making sure all the stuff is in working order and everything. So really appreciate all the socials are there as well. Chad, go ahead.
Listen, I think sometimes when I look at Philadelphia, I see like the NFC's version of Kansas City, but they're bigger, they're stronger, they're faster, they're more physical, right? They showed that in the Super Bowl. I think they proved that. That, like you said, that 40-20, that was no fluke. I mean, they dominated Kansas City, right? Kansas City is like the team of our generation right now. We're looking at the Chiefs as the dynasty, and the Eagles came out and completely dominated. I mean, they completely ran them off the field. I just think, like you said, I don't think the stats have to be – people get obsessed. Like if a quarterback doesn't throw for 350 and 4 touchdowns, it's like, oh, the guy had a bad game. Well, I mean, I think you can manage a game with a running back like Saquon Barkley, and with that defense, I mean, I think you can just go out, limit the mistakes, move the ball, hold on to the football, score some points. You don't have to score 40, 50 points a game to win. I just think it's just, again, about holding on to the ball, limiting mistakes, and just making the most of your opportunities. I mean, the Eagles may be the best team in the NFL at doing that. I mean, they look like a 15-2 type of team to me.
Yeah, they very well could be. We'll definitely see. Hey, we're going to do something a little bit live here. Just want to make sure we're recording, but we do things off the cuff. Just want to make sure all the video and stuff is good to go there. I know TK's video is hanging on by a thread.
It's like that Kansas City dynasty. It's hanging on by a thread right now.
Well,
yeah. My apologies, gentlemen.
No, you're good. As long as you got good audio, that's what you're shooting for. Actually, we'll test it out here in a second. Chad, your top storyline of 2025.
Okay, so for me, it's a couple of AFC quarterbacks trying to get to the Super Bowl for the first time. It's about Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. Like, they've done everything else. They've won MVP awards. Josh Allen's coming off an MVP season. You could probably look at the stats and say, hey, Lamar Jackson probably should have won his third MVP award last year. I think he suffers from that. I'm not saying he's like LeBron level as far as the NFL and being a quarterback, but remember when LeBron had 5 or 6 seasons where he was clearly the best player in the NBA, but he wasn't voted MVP because I think the voters get tired of seeing, whatever, 29, 14, and 8. I mean, somehow almost averaging a triple-double gets old. You have to eclipse your own greatness after a while. So Lamar is going to have to throw for 5,000 yards, 60 touchdowns, run for 1,500 yards, and score 15 to get the MVP again. But whatever. They give it to Josh Allen. That's fine. I know the Bills won one more game last year. Whatever. I'm not trying to throw shade at Josh Allen at all. Great quarterback. But I think for me, it's about the Bills and the Ravens. Can they take that next step in the AFC? Can they dethrone Kansas City? Kansas City looks vulnerable. And I thought this before last night. I mean, I thought coming into the season, I don't know, you get a little bit older, right? Like Travis Kelce's a year older. Patrick Mahomes is a year older. That ankle is about 5 years older for Patrick Mahomes. Every year in the playoffs, he comes up limping, and you're like, this is the year. He can't fight through. They're not going to get through the divisional. They get through the divisional round. Okay, well, the conference championship, that's too much, right? No, there they are in the Super Bowl every year. Somehow he overcomes that ankle injury. You can say it's theater. I don't know. But people say he's faking it. I don't think he's faking it. But whatever. I just think it's about these two quarterbacks trying to get to the Super Bowl. And I suspect, I think you might see, we'll get to it later when we make our Super Bowl picks, but I think you might see one of these, I don't want to say new quarterbacks because Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen are not new, but they would be new on the Super Bowl scene. I think you might see one of them represent the AFC this year.
TK, what do you think?
Definitely feel you on that, Chad. With Baltimore and Buffalo, I wanted to touch more so on the Buffalo Bills because the big thing with them, I understand Josh Allen is a generational talent at quarterback. What you want to look for is the production from that wide receiver core. Who is going to be the guy that separates himself as the X-receiver in that offense? Keon Coleman had a couple of good moments there. Towards the end of the year, had a decent rookie year, nothing to write home about. Obviously, Khalil Shakir is a very good player as well. One of the guys to look out for. Dalton Kincaid and Dawson Knox, a beautiful 2 tight end duo. They should definitely get a lot of burn this year as
They're
well.
built for cold weather up there. I mean, they really are.
Yeah, absolutely. And they were able to sign James Cook to a 4-year, $48 million extension at the tail end of training camp. So the offense should be very balanced. You want to know who's going to separate themselves, make the big plays, who's going to be the guy on third down, who's going to stretch the field, who's going to make the contested catches, who's going to do all those good things. So it's just a couple of questions that you want to get out of the Buffalo Bills. You want to see, because, obviously losing Stephon Diggs is a huge piece. He's in New England now. He's going to be Drake May's new boy toy for the 2025 season and furthermore, hopefully so. But we just want to see how Josh
Inside
Allen
Edge After Dark, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Coming soon. Coming soon.
We really just want to see how Josh Allen handles all these new pieces that have been put in his treasure chest, and hopefully he can take them back to the AFC Championship and possibly ascend into the Super Bowl. We'll see.
Yeah, I think it's obvious. Like, it is obvious that it almost feels like I hate to say this about the regular season, but it doesn't matter. Like, you're going to see both of those teams, Baltimore and Buffalo, face Kansas City in the regular season, big games, and they both might win. Like, Buffalo has defeated Kansas City in the regular season almost every year. Actually, I think they're 4-0 in the regular season.
Oh, no.
But when it matters
in the playoffs, who's going to drop the ball this time? Is it, you know, Mark Andrews going to drop the ball?
That's what I was. Yep.
Are we going to have a missed field goal kick? Like
Tyler Bass going to miss from inside 50 again.
Yeah.
Right.
And you said it with Mark Andrews. The Ravens have to clean that up. I don't know if they get tight. I don't know what happens to the Ravens in the playoffs. Everybody blames it on Lamar. I don't know what else you want him to do.
I'm like, Lamar was a stud in the playoffs. Josh Allen was a stud in the playoffs. This is not one of those cases where you just think, oh man, you know, the star players don't show up. Like
the lights are too bright for Lamar Jackson. That's the narrative, and it's nonsense.
It's BS.
Yeah.
No. Like they're showing up, but it's like, what is stopping them from overcoming Kansas City, who you guys have mentioned it, look weaker and weaker every single year?
You know what it is, Double A? It's the X factor. It's Taylor Swift. That's it. It's Taylor Swift. They have the gravity of everything that comes with Taylor. The Swifties are now Chiefties, and you can't overcome that. That's what it is. I don't know. Maybe not.
Let me ask you guys this before we get to the TK. Let me ask you this: was the plan? Because I know a few Swifties. Was the plan for Travis to propose to Taylor at the Super Bowl? My theory is that was the plan.
Okay.
And then, when you get blown out the way that you did, you can't, hey, we're down 40.
Too bad. It would have been a bad look, man.
Listen, we're going to have a great life together.
Right. You got Andy Reid over in the corner proposing to Patrick Mahomes, too. Like, it would have been a bad look, man. It just,
No, it would have been all bad. And you can't do that. That's Chris Collinsworth's job. I mean, here's a guy.
Here's a guy.
Here's a guy, Dak Prescott moves around, but he's not Patrick Mahomes. I mean, my goodness. I mean, his footwork. I can't believe it.
Dak's making $60 million a year, though. I don't know.
All right, T-Bone, you are up.
All right. I'm going to take a little break from all this championship talk that we have going on. My biggest storyline for the 2025 season, what are the Carolina Panthers going to do? The Carolina Panthers, to me, right now are, other than our own beloved Cleveland Browns, they are the most interesting team in the NFL to me right now. As I've talked to you guys before, I am completely invested in the development of Bryce Young. I thought he was excellent in his final 10 starts of the season, 15 touchdowns, only 6 interceptions after the god-awful first 2 starts that he had in both New Orleans and the home opener against the Los Angeles Chargers. I definitely want to see how Dave Canales ascends up the head coaching ladder. I definitely thought he was, granted, they only went 5-12 last year, did a number of things that I thought were very commendable.
There's a reason they had the first pick, TK. There's a reason. I mean,
right. Hey, listen. This little stretch of Carolina football outside of the end of last year has been absolutely brutal. We didn't think it would get this bad losing Cam Newton, but you obviously had the failed Baker Mayfield experiment. Sam Darnold wasn't that great as a Carolina Panther. You had to see P.J. Walker quite a bit there. But yeah, you want to see all these young guys that they have in. Teteroa McMillan was the 8th overall pick in the 2025 draft this year. He's going to be their WR1. Xavier Legette was the last pick in the first round of last year's draft. Had some drop issues, had 7 of them last year. Was due to a nagging wrist injury that he got surgery on in the offseason. I expect a big year from him. I expect him to be the big play decoy in that offense. The big signing for me, bringing back Hunter Renfrow to perform on the active roster after the Adam Thielen trade, sending him back to the Minnesota Vikings. I definitely think that Hunter will be able to rebound and get that 2019 form back. Remember, 103 receptions, 9 touchdowns, made the Pro Bowl that year as well for the Las Vegas Raiders. Definitely think he is a smooth slot receiver. When you got guys like Derwin James singing your praises, it is meant to be taken seriously, okay? Guy is crispy as hell with the route running, solid hands, deceptive athleticism. Love this guy to death. Obviously, the 2 tight ends that they have, Jatavian Sanders was had a concussion. I think, what game was that? Was that the Saints game that they had to be week 12, week 11, week 12, something like
it was
that.
Somewhere around that time.
Yeah, definitely. He's lost a few pounds. When you get a 245-pound tight end saying that he's dropped 10 pounds, okay, so you're a borderline wide receiver. So now I expect you to cook the hell out of these linebackers. Now, that seam better be open every time we snap the ball, and it should be. With the improvement of Tommy Tremble as well, he's their tight end too. I think he's going to be solid. He's going to be able to add to that. You got to think the Carolina Panthers have the most interesting wide receiver room in the NFL right now. Ted McMillan, Xavier Legette, Hunter Renfrow. You have guys like Jalen Coker, who made noise as an undrafted free agent from Holy Cross last year. 32 receptions, 478 yards, and 4 touchdowns. We have guys like, Jesus, why am I drawing a blank right now?
They got that big guy at receiver now. And I only know that for fantasy football purposes.
Right.
I'm deep into the roster for fantasy, man.
Definitely. I love their offense. I got to remember Chuba Hubbard was an 1,100-yard rusher last year. Rico Dowdle that they got from the Dallas Cowboys in free agency, he ran for 1,000 yards as well. This offense has so many different pieces that you can plug in and just use at will. Not to mention, I also love their offensive line as well, going from left to right. Ike Ekwonu had a solid year as their left tackle. Been struggling a little bit, being a 6th overall pick in 2022, but he's definitely looks to be ascending, and he will be a huge piece of their offense going forward. Damian Lewis, the left guard, Robert Hunt, the right guard. Robert Hunt is one of my favorite offensive linemen in the league. Austin Corbett, the former Browns, shout out to the 33rd overall pick in the 2018 draft. He's going to be a starting center for them. And the big one was re-signing Taylor Moton, their right tackle, to a 2-year, $44 million extension. They have pieces to go ahead and we can't have 5. We can't have 5 wins this year. I definitely think the floor for the Carolina Panthers this season will be 7-10. The ceiling is 12-5.
All right.
I'm going to get into that a little bit later. I definitely think the ceiling is 12-5. The defense, which was the big Achilles heel from last year, they allowed about 29 points a game. The defense was absolutely awful. But again, you have to contribute that to personnel issues. Derek Brown, who set the NFL record for tackles for a defensive lineman, he had 103 as a 3 technique, sir. That's hard.
You can say he's around the ball.
So you get that brother back in the middle of that defense. That's going to be outstanding. I love the signings of both Tershawn Wharton and Bobby Brown. I definitely think having Sean Robinson spin the wagon back, he's going to be a starter this year. So not only is he a quintessential depth piece, he's going to be a starter as well. The linebackers scare you a little bit. Trevin Wallace was okay as a rookie. Christian Rosenbloom came over in free agency from the Los Angeles Rams after having a career year with 130-plus tackles. So we look for those guys to ascend in coverage. It
sounds like you're describing the Browns, honestly. Like we're talking about a decent offensive line, except for the receivers. The Browns don't have that. But development at quarterback, it's the linebacker questions, the solid defensive line. I mean, it's the Browns.
Right.
And a round of applause there.
Appreciate it. And the secondary, listen, J.C. Horn is a lockdown corner. I think Mike Jack did a decent job as a CB2. The safeties leave a lot to be desired. There's a lot of juggling around. We got Trayvon Moehrig and Nick Scott as the opening day starters. We have some depth there with Damani Richardson, Lathan Ransom, the ex-Buckeye that they took in the 4th round of this year's draft. So there's a lot to be. I think the young men want to make some noise this year. They're not going to be world beaters or anything like that, but I do have them making significant noise.
I'm just going to say this. I think that was probably the most Carolina Panthers breakdown that you've heard in over like 20 years at ESPN. If Carolina is in the double digit of wins, you will hear the ESPN people by like December, like, boy, I didn't see this coming. Oh my goodness, what a story. Can't believe it. I'll say this. I'll say this real quick. Then we're going to take a quick break. You look at the teams from a few years ago that was in the Deshaun Watson sweepstakes. I know the Browns get all the garbage, right? You got them, and that's that, right? Carolina is exactly where we are right now. The Saints are where we are right now. Atlanta's the only team that is like at a different space. Yeah. But Atlanta was in the sweepstakes. I think that was Deshaun's hometown. So I think he was.
They definitely were.
Yep. Yeah, but they were the sweepstakes. So I don't understand. Like, look, I'm not going to sit here and stick up for like Jimmy Haslam, D. Haslam for much of anything. But the Browns get a bunch of crap over Deshaun Watson when you had three other teams, two of those teams in the Saints and Panthers, who would have gladly taken on Deshaun Watson, and all three of us, us and them, are in the same spot.
Yeah. Yep. Funny how that works.
Got to remember though, Al, when that whole thing was going on, we already know that he had said no to us initially. And what the perceived deal at that time was, it was going to be somewhere within 4 to 5 years, but it wasn't going to exceed $200 million. The Saints and the Panthers and the Falcons possibly could have had him for $180 over 4 or 5 years. We decided to slut him out with a record-breaking contract and screw up the player market for further generations by giving him $230 million guaranteed. So
now you got Dak making 60.
Even though we do get a lot of crap for it, can you say that it is earned?
That's a good point. That is a great point. And it's like, man, if I know the money is, it's changed now, but you go to those levels, it's like, dude, come on. And it's crazy. We're going to talk Browns on the other side of the break because the sad thing, the way we all know how Browns football works, we all know there's a strong possibility he's going to play this year. I mean, it's there. You see it play out. We're going to talk about how things were handled with Shador and everything like that on the other side. But I'll just say this. If Carolina sniffs 8, 9, 10, 11 wins, they're competing for the NFC South title, man, they are the first team to kind of recover from all that. All right, let's take a quick break and come back. We got more of the preview show. We're going to talk about the Browns. Did they handle the quarterback situation correctly this offseason and during the preseason? What do we expect from Joe Flacco and friends? Because there's going to be multiple quarterbacks that's going to play. But we're glad you're with us here on the Inside Edge Network, our debut. We're going to have a lot of great programming. Cannot wait. There's our socials. TK's here, Chat's here. I'm Anthony Alford. We're back in just 2 minutes. All right, welcome back. We're discovering new stuff here on StreamYard. So the Inside Edge Network, glad to be here with you. I'm Anthony Alford. Chad is here. TK is here. You will see and hear from Chad and TK along with Mr. Deacon himself, Marcus Donald, on the new show, Illegal Formation. Going to get that during the week, I believe, on Tuesdays or Wednesdays. We'll have that out for you guys. But we cannot wait. You guys are going to have an unbelievable show. And a lot of stuff to break down. So that's great. But it's time to talk about the team we have here in Cleveland.
Do we have to?
It's in the rundown. So Browns coming in nationally, the Browns, the most talked about quarterback situation ever. And I say that nationally because here with us locally, us being here in Cleveland, this is just Tuesday for us. I mean, discussing quarterbacks, this is the apex. Like this is what we do. Yep. Buffalo's talking about like how to overcome Kansas City, and Philly is talking about how to defend the title, and Carolina is talking about like their new bright future. We are experts at QB1 talk. No, I mean like who's going to start at QB1 week to week.
There you go. There you go.
Sometimes it's 3 guys a season, 4, might be 5. Never know.
Or you can have all 6 and 5 of them get hurt.
I mean, why not?
Why not? All right, Chad, I'm going to go to you first here. So the talk of the town was Shedeur.
Yeah.
We all know we know a little bit of the backstory, of course. Shedeur Sanders, a lot of draft boards had him as a top 5 pick of the first round of the NFL draft.
Yeah.
He falls all the way to the 5th round. The Browns take him at round 5 after Dylan Gabriel was picked up in round number 3. Was this all your overall analysis of the QB battle? Was Shedeur given a fair opportunity to start? And then based on what we saw in the first preseason game, and then of course that third preseason game, was all of this handled correctly?
I think the answer is no. I mean, I think Shedeur Sanders, of all the quarterbacks that you have on the roster right now, gives you the most upside long-term, right? I don't know that it's Dylan Gabriel. I know he made a bunch of starts in college. He has the most experience running an offense, some kind of offense. Listen, that Oregon offense isn't really tough to run, right? I mean, you get the ball and you turn to the flats and you throw it to somebody and they go, and that's it, right? And he averages like 6 air yards per pass. That's not really that doesn't make me feel warm and fuzzy looking at him as an NFL quarterback. Not that the Browns really have a receiver that can take the top off of defense, but I mean, they don't have a quarterback in Dylan Gabriel that can take the top off of defense. So what do? You put, 55 guys in the box and you shut down the West Coast offense that they're going to have to run. Because listen, Kevin Stefanski's offense, we know it's predicated on the play action, right? The one advantage that I think Dylan Gabriel has at 5'11" is he can kind of hide behind the line of scrimmage. Maybe the defensive backs lose him a little bit back there. That makes it a little bit of an advantage in the play action, but then how do you know he's even faking the handoff? Whatever. The whole problem is, we talked about Joe Flacco. What can you expect out of Joe Flacco? It's not going to be 17 games, right? So at some point, we're looking at the kids, like we're looking at, you said Joe Flacco and friends. We're looking at the friends real quick. I mean, I don't know. Is it week 4, week 5, week 6? Is it going to be after the bye? We don't know. And you can look at the depth chart and you can see how the Browns are thinking. I mean, they had Dylan Gabriel at 2 and Shedeur Sanders at 3. There's so much to get into here. It's so what do you pick? I mean, you talked about taking Dylan Gabriel in the 3rd round. I think you could have waited until the 4th or 5th round to get him. I don't think anyone was rushing to trade up to snag Dylan Gabriel, right? I mean, does that make sense? I don't think anybody was rushing to get him.
No. I was going to say, TK, you think he was overdrafted at 3? Was that an ideal spot to pick him up if Kevin Stefanski really liked Dylan Gabriel?
Well, I don't necessarily want to call it a reach because it was a middle of the 3rd round type of pick. Yeah, granted, maybe a little bit higher, but we could still use that as a value pick, so to say, simply because you got him in the third round with how successful he was at the University of Oregon. Now, I will say this, as far as the kids go, and I really don't want to say too much more about it. Right now, Dylan is ahead of Shedeur. Dylan is ahead of Shedeur right now.
Yeah.
We're going.
60 starts in college will do that for you. I mean, the kid made a ton of starts.
Right, absolutely. You got to remember though, Shedeur played 4 years of college football too. Now, granted, 2 of them were at Jackson State.
Sure.
And the other 2 were at Colorado. You're still at a Power 5 school. But anyway, the kids made some great plays. The kids made some not so great plays. Obviously, the big ones that we want to focus on, the duck that Dylan Gabriel threw in Philadelphia that got picked off by rookie safety Andrew Makuba and took into the house, obviously addressing the lack of effort to try to stop him on that run as well. But then you go into week 3 against the Los Angeles Rams, and Shedeur Sanders takes a 25-yard sack. So both of you youngsters, this grown folks time, okay? Sit down. We're gonna talk to you.
Yeah.
We're gonna get some of those things cleaned up.
You're eating at the big table now at Thanksgiving. Like you got to act like it, right? Yeah.
Yeah. We gotta usher you guys in. There's a lot of work that needs to be done. Obviously, they're both surprisingly very accurate QBs.
Yeah.
Dylan's hype does not scare me at all.
Okay.
I think we are all old enough to remember the last few remnants of Doug Flutie's career and what he was able to do with the Chargers and obviously receiving some spot duty with the New England Patriots. So
he was 5'7", so
right.
Yeah.
Hey. But as far as the kids go, you guys just sit down, just relax. We got a lot more. We got a lot to work on. It's not dire straits yet because, like I said, they did make plays. It's not like we're rolling out a Keely Smith or Ryan Leaf or anything like that. It's not that miserable.
Deshaun Kaiser's not coming to town.
Oh, dear God.
Cody Kessler.
Was saddened to hear that Cody Kessler, Robert Griffin, Josh McCown, and him were included in the 6-man quarterback competition that we had this offseason. Pretty disappointed to hear that. But again, did the quarterback situation get handled correctly in Cleveland? I think Chad answered that perfectly. And I'm going to say, with as much money and as much time as we have wasted on this position, okay, from Ty Detmer to Jeff Garcia to Brian Hoyer to Shedeur Damn Sanders. You fixed this situation about as good as you could, baby. You really did.
Yeah, and I was going to say, under the circumstances, it wasn't bad. Yeah. But
so, here's the hope for me. All right. I don't want to go 3-14 again. I do not give a damn who is going to be in that draft next year. I get Cade Klubnik is a wonderful college quarterback, as is Garrett Nussmeier. Lenore Sellers had a wonderful game last week as well. Yeah. I don't give a damn. I don't. Really don't.
That Penn State quarterback, it's from
Drew
the area.
Aller. Drew Aller. People in Northeast Ohio love him. I've seen his game.
They loved Mitch Trubisky too.
Right. With all due respect, Mitch still went to a Pro Bowl. Bears were 12-4 that year. Obviously, the double doink loss in the playoffs, the wild card game against Philly. But as far as I'm concerned, you fixed it about as good as you could. You had 5 quarterbacks on the roster. Somehow you ended with 6. Pretty disappointed that you didn't go ahead and just get 6 more and bring it up to 12.
Why not?
Why not?
Just all 53 quarterbacks. 53 quarterbacks.
Hey, listen. We're gonna line up everyone outside. If you want to try out a quarterback, we're line outside of the Browns facility. Here we go. Tryouts. Can you throw the deep ball? Can you throw the curl? Can you throw the out route? The court, what can you do?
That's all they need. Just please don't take a 35-yard set. No, it wasn't 35 yards. I'm exaggerating.
Exactly.
But that's
Just go
fixable, I
run
think, with Sanders.
backwards.
That's fixable. Yeah, I think that stuff is
Absolutely.
fixable. The holding the ball on, holding onto the ball too long and retreating under pressure. I mean, you can teach him to step up into the pocket and deliver a throw.
Right.
That's fixable.
Right. Yeah, these mistakes that these young kids are making are very fixable, and they're still very young. There is no need to rush them out right now.
TK,
However,
wait, let me ask you, do we have a guy on this coaching staff that's able to fix that, though? Do we have a guy that, like, we've had quarterback whispers, we've had, I don't know, Freddie Kitchens, he was supposed to do something with Baker. I mean, do we have that guy?
Sorry to interrupt that, because let me jump in on that, though, because that is my concern out of all this, because I think, listen, we saw out of Shedeur. I think Shedeur is still a great talent. I think Shedeur is going to be I think he'll still have a really good NFL career.
Yeah.
I think this coaching staff, led by Stefanski, I think they are I give them props for their resume.
Okay.
I think his offenses are so limited in terms of growth potential. Yeah. And I think that's why, the ideal quarterback for his system is Kirk Cousins.
Okay.
You want, like, his system is very much reliant on plug and play. Can you operate the play action? Can you go from there? That's why Dylan Gabriel, to be perfectly honest, had a great preseason, because Dylan Gabriel can run that system, but it's limited. I don't know if Dylan Gabriel can throw deep balls in the NFL. His size actually does concern me, because I didn't see strong throws in the preseason. And that's the part that concerned me with Gabriel. And once defenses lock in on those shorter routes, they're going to pick that thing off every time.
Yeah, you can't run that late 80s, early 90s 49ers style West Coast run and shoot. You can't do that anymore. I mean,
it hasn't worked.
Athletic.
It hasn't worked since the 80s and 90s.
No, it hasn't.
Like, it hasn't worked.
No.
Like, I don't understand this whole idea of, like, oh, we're going to thrive off the West Coast. You have to have a dynamic quarterback.
Yeah.
Let me ask y'all this. Give me the last basic-ass quarterback to win a Super Bowl.
Ooh, okay. Let me think about this one.
Mark Brunell? I don't know. I mean, Joe Flacco.
Good. No,
give me the last, like, quarterback that you would consider, like, mid.
Basic?
To win a Super Bowl.
Oh, boy.
I can't even think, because everyone's been so dynamic.
If we're doing that, we might as well go ahead and bring up Trent Dilfer from the 2000 Ravens.
Yeah.
I mean, you could make, if we're going to go by technicality, early Tom Brady, when, like, the defenses were carrying the Patriots, maybe. But Tom Brady was smart.
But he was so dynamic in the pocket and never made a bad decision. I mean, that.
Yeah. And then Tom Brady became Tom Brady.
Yeah.
So
maybe Brad Johnson with the 02 Buccaneers.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's what a dominant defense. And maybe if we threw this back to the early 2000s, let's say, because the Browns defense now is pretty good. So if you had a dominant defense, you take this defense, throw it back to the 2000s, maybe you could get away with, mediocre offensive play. Yeah. But once Joe Flacco is off the field, that's the concern. I actually thought they were going to try with Kenny Pickett. I'm not rooting for Kenny Pickett or anything at all. His injury really cost him. He had to get rid of him.
I was going to say, lost in this, we haven't even mentioned Pickett yet. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the thing. Like, the way I saw it, I thought maybe the Browns lied to us on purpose. Maybe it was never a 4-quarterback battle. It really was a 2-2 battle. Yeah. It really was Joe Flacco and Pickett.
Yeah.
For QB1.
Yep.
And then Shedeur and Dillon. But you don't say that publicly because
with a big gap in between, by the way. Yeah.
If you would have said that publicly, the way the fans and the media would have took it would have been, whoever loses between Dillon and Shedeur is going to get cut.
Yep. And that's not how you sell season tickets either.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you would have had an issue from there. So I don't mind the messaging, say like, oh, it's a 4 quarterback battle, even though it never was.
No.
But we all know the main question is going to be, as we kind of tie into, our expectations for the season. It's going to be Joe Flacco, but will Shador be? I almost want to redshirt Shador. I know that's a college thing, but I almost just want to, put Shador like on the practice squad for the year.
Yep.
Let him learn. Let him, learn against NFL defenses.
Yep.
Learn how to not run 20 yards when he's in trouble in the backfield.
Right.
And then he's going to be a great talent.
Yeah.
But I hate to say this because I teased it. There is an opening. Deshaun Watson's going to be healthy this year, folks. He's going to be healthy. And for Deshaun, he knows, and his people know, that this is basically, if he doesn't show out here, he's getting cut next year on June 1st. So he wants to show out probably for his next football team. Yeah. And I think, oh boy, I think he's getting reps this season. I really do.
Yeah. Well, it's hard not to give reps to a guy that you spent $250 million on. I mean, your hand is forced a little bit. If he's healthy, you got to put him out there. And I don't know.
To be honest, it's like, listen, all right, this team cannot go 3-14 again this year. That don't mean go 2-15 or 1-16 or 0-17 either, damn it. It means you need to at least go out there and try to compete for something. You have an extra first-round pick to go off of for next year's draft. I don't want you guys shooting for top 5 picks. I don't want it. The city doesn't want it. The organization shouldn't want it.
Yeah.
Because, of course, the first 2 morons that were on that plane or on that ride to Columbus were our general manager and our silly Willy walnut head ass owner. So now these guys are excited as hell.
Why are you afraid to say how you really feel? I don't understand. Why are you
say what you
man? I really don't condone going off like this, but you got to be real with yourself. I've been watching this team reinvent the art of losing for 23 years. And it's getting disgusting. It really is.
They're so good at it, though. They're so good. They've got a need. They're good at it.
We could start a damn docuseries of how to screw up a game.
Like, I'm watching this Cowboys documentary, and it's just on Netflix. It's like, the glory days and stuff. Boy, if Netflix ever did a Browns documentary from 1999 on.
Oh, my goodness.
That would be.
You got to have comedy too, though. You got to have some comedy on Netflix America. Also. So.
Well, the comedy will be from the Johnny Manziel segment.
Oh my goodness, man!
Goodness.
I'm glad he blames the Browns for his failures. I'm glad that's where his head's at still.
I
thought he'd been sure.
Yes, Johnny, because it was the city of Cleveland's fault that you're a miserable cokehead who didn't have a playbook in college. Oh, we're so people.
You know what? Johnny is so irrelevant. In my mind, I didn't even put Johnny in the rundown just because it's dude, I know he hates us more than we hate him.
Yeah.
Because it was 10 years ago that he played for us.
Yeah.
Right.
10 years ago.
I find myself irrationally rooting for this guy to turn his life around, and then he says some stuff like this.
Listen. The Browns have started 20 more quarterbacks since you've left. Okay, that's not really.
That's just one season. That's
at least. All right.
That's just last.
You know what? Maybe we should listen to Johnny. Okay.
Maybe he's right. Maybe he's onto something. Maybe I'll give it a re. I'll get back and give it a re. Maybe he's on.
Listen. I know Johnny is very much hateable, and I know I get this. I understand all this. But as TK has said multiple times, when you reinvent the way of losing all the time, you may not like who is the messenger. You may not like who's saying this. Mm-hmm. And Johnny is not a likable guy. But there is a reason why in 2025 the Browns are still looking for a quarterback, and maybe somebody who's in the system. I mean, he screwed up a lot. Maybe it is worth reading into a little bit of what he said, as opposed to F this guy. I mean, you can
Just
still
dismissing.
say F
What if Joe
guy.
Thomas gave that
You can
same
still-
interview? Double A.
Oh,
I mean, minus
we're all
the
ears.
incendiary whatever. But what if Joe Thomas had that same kind of a? What would we think then?
If Joe Thomas said, and I love Cleveland, and he does love Cleveland, love
sure.
love the fans and everything like that, but organization did this, and this. Oh yeah, we will listen.
No, that's spot on.
It would be gospel,
That is
right?
spot on.
Yeah.
I will never, ever, as long as my pork ass is above ground, forgive the Browns for what they did to Joe Thomas's career. They do not deserve acceptance for that. That was horrible. The men that you had this man blocking for, absolutely disgusting. From the moment we took him with the 3rd overall selection in the 2007 draft, which was a brilliant pick, by the way. I understand Megatron was there. I get Adrian Peterson went 7th. I understand.
No, they got it right.
But that was the right pick for us at that time. Our offensive line had been atrocious for a number of years. It was the biggest reason why Tim Couch almost died while he was here. So now, when we put this into perspective, if Joe Thomas was to say that he hated this organization, baby, we all clapping because we hate him too. We absolutely hate them too. The men that you have had behind this man, making him look bad. The fact that he only surrendered 30 sacks in a 167-game career with us, with the void of talent that we have had, especially at that quarterback position.
And
he can talk as much as he wants. He is the unofficial mayor of this damn city, as far as I'm concerned. And he is the 3rd best professional athlete to play professional sports in the city of Cleveland, behind LeBron James and obviously Jim Brown. Okay. So if he
don't forget Jose Ramirez, though.
Yeah, I was going to say that's a whole different conversation. That's
top 5. He's up there.
No.
Gotta have love for Hosey. Gotta have
no. That's one of those you gotta sit down and debate it and think about it. And keep emotions out of it, because I know people in this town hate LeBron for reasons.
LeBron was that guy, though, man. I mean, LeBron.
Listen, he came back. We got some jewelry. We had 4 more really exciting seasons of basketball. Listen, we had our season going into June every year when he came back.
Okay? Yeah, I kind of miss that.
Thank him for that. I thank him for that.
I kind of miss, although hopefully the Cavs, we're going to get back to that. I kind of miss, our basketball season's ending in June. That was a great time in sports.
Come on, Evan Mobley.
Let's take a quick break. When we come back, our final prediction for the 2025 Browns as far as records. And we got a few more things to talk about, too. We're going to sneak in one college football topic when we come back, because the Big Ten commissioner said, 12-team playoff is not enough. Okay, how about 14? No. 24. No. 28.
Yep.
Maybe 32. Is that too much?
Maybe 136. Why not?
Or it's 136.
Just single elimination from week 1. That's it.
Maybe it's just right. And then also, we're going to each give a team that made the playoffs that's going to miss this year, and a team that missed last year that's going to make it this year, and finally, Super Bowl picks. So we got a lot to get to. Of course, we're glad you're with us. Inside Edge Network, TK's here, Chat's here. I'm Anthony Alford. We're back in just 2 minutes. Welcome back. Inside Edge NFL preview show. I'm Anthony Alford. Chad Bryan is here. TK Dandridge is here. I call him T-Bone from around the way. Man, it's so great to have all of us here together. And you're not just going to see the three of us. You're going to see unbelievable talent across the board. And we're not just going to cover sports. We're going to have entertainment and pop culture and local news and community stuff. We got a mental health show that's coming to the network as well. We're going to have a Cavaliers and Guardians dedicated show as well, and a lot of other great programming. We cannot wait. And of course, we'll get the party started, of course, tomorrow. We're going to have a pregame show, get you set for all the football games. Chad's going to be a part of that.
Yep.
For all 17 regular season games. And I believe 15 or 16 of those games, the Browns are going to play at 1 o'clock. And the one benefit of being trash is that you play at 1 o'clock every week.
Yep. So we'll be done here early. We'll be done nice and early. You don't have to worry about catching us in the afternoon. It's just, right at noon we'll be there.
Guys, I'm not even going to lie to you. When we were making primetime games, especially on Monday night, that would drive me crazy. Like, I got to wait till 8 o'clock the next day to watch us do something stupid. This is
well for me, when I worked at 92.3, when we had the primetime games, and again, it worked, produced the morning show.
Yep.
With Ken Carmen, Anthony. I saw Ken, by the way, yesterday at Curlin. It was great to see him.
Okay.
But you got to stay up and watch the game.
Yep.
And then you sleep for like 2 hours because you got to listen to the press conference. I usually wait. I woke up early to listen to the post game comments and stuff, and then you got to cut them up and have them ready for the show.
Yep.
Man, we were zombies.
Oh, can't even imagine.
All right, real quick. Predictions for this Browns team record-wise. I believe the over-under win total by Vegas is 5.5 for the Cleveland Browns. And TK, I'll let you go first.
All right, my realistic expectation for the Browns this year, I definitely think the floor. We're going to say the floor is going to be 3-14. Like I said, we do not need to be contending for that top overall pick. This is not something that should be in the interest of anyone in that organization. So we're going to give the floor a 3-14. We'll give the ceiling a 10-7. My realistic expectations for this Browns team, I believe we're going to finish at about 7-10. I do see us winning week 1 against the Bengals. Week 2 is going to be a tall task. You got the Ravens in Baltimore. The Packers at home week 3. That should also be a little bit tough, but I do think we can find a way to get that going. Again, with that whole Micah Parsons trade for the Green Bay Packers, does it make them a better team? Absolutely. But when I hear that a $200 million pass rusher is going to be receiving epidurals before every game, game.
Yeah.
That makes me a little worried. So if we're able to control that, we should be fine. Obviously, going to Motown, that's going to be tough against the Lions. They're really good. I expect us to beat the Vikings in London. I expect us to take care of the Steelers in Pittsburgh, at home, at the grocery store. I don't give a damn. I'm not worried about the Steelers one bit. Sure. The Dolphins seem to be in the midst of a free fall. I don't see it. It very well could be true.
The Dolphins, it always depends on if Tua's playing.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. And I hope those ignorant-ass Dolphins fans realize exactly how good they have it with him under center. You guys better stop disrespecting that young man. I understand he's had some injury concerns and he hasn't gotten you past the divisional round. But he's the best quarterback that you've had since Dan Marino walked away. Don't give me that Ryan Tannehill shit. Don't you do it. He wasn't that good until he got to Tennessee. Don't you do it.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair, though.
All right, week 8 against
Ryan Tannehill's like, what?
No, Tua. No, forget about Tannehill.
Tua. Don't get me wrong. He was solid with the Miami Dolphins. He was not what we look at him as now until he got to Tennessee. That's when he started putting up all the elite numbers. Week 8 against the Patriots. Listen, the New England Patriots are going to be very good this year.
Yeah.
I understand they went 4-13 last year. A lot of close losses for that football team. You got to think Gerard Mayo was way in over his head, being the head coach for the New England Patriots. Thought it was beautiful that they went into Paul Brown Stadium and beat those Bengals the way that they did. But for the rest of the season, it just looked a mess. Obviously, time management issues. Your personnel wasn't that much to be wooed about, especially when you got DeMontre Jacobs and Vidarian Lowe as your starting tackles. That ain't nothing to write home about at all, especially since Dimitri Jacobs just got cut at the end of August. He started 13 games from last year. So big moves on that offensive line. I definitely expect a spike in production from Drake May, who's solid. Will Campbell, who they took with their first pick, the 4th overall pick in this year's draft, I wanted him desperately. I definitely thought the dream offseason, especially in the draft, was to be able to find some way to get both Will Campbell and Ashton Jeanty on this roster. I mean, that would have been amazing. But
that would have been special. That would have been really special.
Offensive line. Definitely. But yeah, I definitely think that the New England Patriots get us in New England. Week 9 is the bye. We're going to Gotham City to play the Jets. That should be a win. Week 11, Ravens are always tough. Week 12, we have the Raiders. Raiders, I think, are going to be really good this year. They have the best tight end in football in Brock Bowers. Their top overall pick this year, Ashton Jeanty, with number 6 overall. Obviously, the Boise State running back that got robbed of the Heisman Trophy this year. Yeah, you heard it. He's going to have an excellent year. Obviously, the big key component of this whole thing, I believe, other than hiring Pete Carroll to be the head coach, is getting Geno Smith to be the quarterback of that offense. Yes, I understand he threw 15 interceptions last year. He completed 71% of his passes with Jackson Smith in Jigba as his top target. Oh, State forever. Week 13, we have the 49ers at home. Listen, 49ers are always tough. We're expecting an improved year from them. Week 14, the Titans are going to come quarterback. I think Cameron Ward is very special. Do I think the Titans have enough to beat us? No. But then again, we are the Browns, so anything can happen. The Bears, week 15. Now listen, I expect a huge spike in production from everyone on that Bears offense, especially with Ben Johnson as the head coach. I expect a hallmark year from Caleb Williams. I expect guys like DJ Moore and Roma Dunze to keep doing what they're doing. I expect a bigger year from Roma Dunze. He only had 54 receptions last year. What is all this bust talk that's been thrown around, okay? Never have I met a guy or seen a player that was called a bust after having a season with over 700 yards and 4 touchdowns in his first year. I mean, we're so quick to throw that bust label out. I don't think that's the case at all. Buffalo at home, week 16. Come on now. Week 17 at home against the Steelers. That could easily be a toss-up, especially if both teams are either at or around 500. They could possibly have some playoff implications, late season playoff applications, and obviously going to Cincinnati week 18 for the season finale. Again, I expect the Bengals to be better.
And the Bengals probably will be competing for a playoff spot.
Yeah,
exactly.
In week 18. Exactly. So I would think you're going to see their starters in week 18.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to have anything wrapped up to the point where they rest anybody. Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely think that this team, like I said, the floor is 3-14. Ceiling could be 10-7. I got to say it's about 7-10, 8 or 9. So
yeah.
Real quick, TK, do you hear the siren outside? I know you're in Maple. I'm in Bedford.
I do. That's crazy. I do. I hear that thing loud and clear.
Should we get to the basement? Are we okay? Are we?
Yeah, I'm in the basement already. So
well, the Browns are in the basement, so we're safe. I think we're fine. We're talking about the Browns. It's fine.
Yeah,
we're in the basement of the division. So
I was gonna say, I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. It is the first Saturday. It's almost noon.
Yeah,
it's about that time. And I'm like, I know. I'm like, if it's that loud here in Bedford, I'm like, I wonder if TK hears it in Maple.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Chad, you're up next.
Well, I'm going to sound the alarm on one thing. I'm sorry I had to. Listen, I'm not going to go through the schedule game because I don't think anybody wants to hear me do that right now. But TK, I agree with you. I think the floor is 3-14. I don't think. Listen, I think the defense is too good to end up 3-14 again.
Exactly.
If they stay healthy, if they can stay on the field, and but a lot of that depends on too the offense physically staying on the field and actually moving the ball and letting the defense breathe a little bit, right? Like that's something that didn't happen last year. The defense didn't get a chance to even. It was Myles Garrett. These guys are out there all the time. But that defensive line, I love the defensive line right now. Myles Garrett, Aiden Huntington, Mason Graham. I love the Mason Graham pick. I advocated for it on my show. I said, listen, I think the ideal offseason thing to do, trade back, get some value, take Mason Graham. He's what I love to call a block eater, right? Like he can eat up two guys on that offensive line. You've got a guy, Myles Garrett, that commands a lot of pressure on the outside. Now you've got guys that can run around. Malik Collins, Alex Wright, even at linebacker, Carson Schwarzenegger. I think he comes in and hopefully stabilizes the linebacker spot a little bit for the Browns with JOK out with the neck thing. I'm sad about what's happening to him right now.
Yeah, the JOK story is just very unfortunate.
It's really awful. And for all, I don't know him personally, but he seems to be a great guy, just a great human being. Definitely. Great football player. I wish it was, working out better, but it's not working out right now. I think it's like you said. I think it's between 3-14 and 7-10. I don't know if they can get to 8 wins because I just don't know what we can expect out of Joe Flacco. I mean, he's 40. He'll be 41 in January. Can he stay out there for 15 to 17 games? I don't know. And you get with Joe Flacco. You're going to get some interceptions, but he's going to move the ball and he's going to at least keep the offense on the field. So obviously, the longer he's on the field, the better it is for the Browns. I don't know. I just think it's. I don't know. I mean, we're in this weird situation where it's like, okay, well, we want them to win, but they're not going 12-5 and win the division. They're not going to go to the playoffs, right? Like, you don't want to tank again. You hope the Jaguars are bad, but I'm looking at Jacksonville and I think they're going to be better. I just don't know. The Browns could end up with like picks number 10 and 14. And then what do you do? So like you said, I think maybe the quarterback of the future hopefully is on the roster now because, you don't get one of the top guys at 10 or 14 unless something happens, somebody falls or whatever. I just don't know. I think the defense is too good for 3-14 again. I think the offense is too bad for 10-7. But I love the Flacco to Njoku connection. I mean, that was great a couple of years ago. That was really dynamic. If they can stay, they just don't have a wide receiver that can really take the top off of defense and scare you enough to have to stay back and let the running game cook. And I don't really know what the running game is going to look like, to be honest with you.
Well, Chad, I'm going to disagree with you on one thing, and hopefully I'm right.
Okay.
Jerry Jeudy has a potential. We saw it when he worked with Jameis. When he was with Jameis, Jerry Jeudy was the top receiver in football.
That's fair.
Yes,
that's fair. When he was with everybody else, different story. But what's Jerry Jeudy are we going to get? But Chad, we need a record from you. We need something.
I'm going to go 7-10. I'm going to go 7-10.
All right, for me, I think the key is going to be 2 things. Can you at least survive these first 6 games? T-Bone pointed it out already, but again, Cincinnati, Baltimore.
Tomorrow's winnable.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Cincinnati, Baltimore, Green Bay, Detroit, Minnesota, in London, and Pittsburgh. How you look in those 6 games, and I'm not even talking like wins and losses, but how you look in those 6 games will determine the rest of the season and where you go. I think defense, I think you guys hit the nail on the head, of course, with Graham, and finally Myles Garrett's going to have some help there. If they can stay healthy, you're going to be able to compete in those 6 games. The main key is how long Joe Flacco can stay healthy. If you could, if Joe Flacco can go at least until the bye week, even for if Joe Flacco is still playing in November, then that means we're having a pretty solid season to that point. That means, to me, Joe Flacco playing in November means the Browns already have 4 wins heading into November. Which at that point, that would be, I'm just spitballing, that's probably 4-4. Something like that. And I hate this question because, would you, if I told you today, the day before the season, would you take 4-4 or would you take Sure. Sure.
Right.
Better than doing 6.
Better than what I thought it would be. And here's the thing.
Yeah.
Joe Flacco, again, it's preseason. It is what it is. Joe Flacco didn't look bad, those couple of drives in the preseason. It's the one thing Kevin Stefanski did not have to worry about. And now Joe Flacco has the whole offseason to do something. And that's going to be the key. If this offense can at least compete, the defense can hold up against, Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. Chase Brown is a great talent. Chase Brown is an unbelievable talent. But, I mean, listen, Cincinnati has, for whatever reason, they have a mental block against the Browns. Kind of like how we talked with the Bills and Ravens about the Chiefs. For whatever reason, the Bengals are that way against us.
Yeah.
So you win tomorrow. I think the sky is the limit. And again, you can't think about, the draft picks or anything like that. So, listen, I have if I actually did the schedule game, I would talk myself into 7-10. I would talk myself into it.
Yeah.
I mean, I could talk myself into the Browns beating the Bengals.
Yeah.
I can.
But listen, I'm going to pump the brakes real quick because the Browns are 3-22-1 in season openers since they came back. So
I know. That's
they don't like one AA.
I know. But they've won recently. They've won recently in week 1.
Yeah.
So they've, post-COVID, they're great in week 1.
That's the new AD. It's post-COVID.
Yeah. Yeah. Baltimore will be a huge challenge. But our defense does well against Lamar Jackson in the past.
Yes, we do.
Am I off base of saying that?
No. That's the track record. No, it's been weird. It's bizarre, but it's true.
Jim Schwartz and again, the combination of Graham and Garrett.
They do a good job of not getting up the field too far. They contain him. They keep him in the pocket.
You got to keep Lamar in the pocket.
Yes.
You keep Lamar in the pocket and you force him, to me, Lamar's an elite runner.
Yeah.
He has arm strength. Yeah. I don't think Lamar is the most accurate passer.
I think he's better when he can get outside the pocket and create a little bit. He's good at throwing on the run. Yeah. I think he's better there. And they keep him from doing that.
I honestly think we sleep on his accuracy a little bit. I definitely think from now, I think, to when he first started as their quarterback, he's definitely taking steps, gradually taking steps. This is a guy that has led the NFL in touchdown passes twice.
Yeah.
He's significant compared to how he looked in 2018. He's significantly better as a passer. Yeah. But if you're in the conversation of elite quarterbacks in the NFL, in the pocket, I don't think he's as accurate as the elite quarterbacks in the pocket. Outside the pocket, I think he's untouchable.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. You don't want to flush him out.
I'll be realistic. If the Browns, I'm going to talk myself into it. It's a preview show, dang it. 3-4. 3-3 out of these first 6 games.
Yeah.
I don't think Joe Flacco is going to stay healthy. I think you're going to start messing around with Dylan Gabriel, and I think you'll see Deshaun in December. I think a 3-3 start is going to turn into 6-11.
Okay. Yeah.
And that's frustrating if it plays out that way because these first 6 games are the hardest part of the schedule by far.
Right.
Yep.
But you're going to start messing around.
Yeah. But one weird thing about the defense, I wanted to say, they have a weird tackling problem in road games the last couple of years. I don't understand. Everybody says defense travels. Their defense doesn't always travel. I don't get it.
No.
It's a weird thing.
And I'm looking at a weird – T-Bone pointed out the New England game.
Mm-hmm.
And I agree with him that New England is going to be a better football team. They're going to be better coached.
They'll be good. Yeah.
I think Drake May is a phenomenal talent.
Yeah.
Their
running game got a huge boost.
By this point, Travion Henderson will be the RB1 by this point of the season, and he doesn't fumble.
Nope.
because that's been their issue over with Steven. Like, he fumbles.
Yeah.
So
he's a great blocker too. He's perfect for them.
The New England game, oddly enough, kind of scares me when we get to that point.
Right.
Yep.
Maybe the Raiders. I'm just looking at particular road games later.
Can we get a Browns-Bills snow game, do you think, again? Could it be?
Yeah, this December 21st.
Yeah, it's late December, so yeah, we should be in for that one.
Yeah, why not?
Definitely.
Real quick, let me we'll do the college thing at the end. Let me do the playoff teams here right now.
Okay.
Because looking at the teams, I got to pull it up here, the teams that made the playoffs last year. I believe I saw a stat that in the last, typically you have massive turnover in terms of teams that make the playoffs, that miss the next year. Not that
everywhere,
much,
everywhere but Cleveland, there's parity in the NFL.
Yeah, like there's some kind of parity with there. But let me ask you guys this, because I'm sorry for the delay here, but I'm going to pull up the teams here that made the playoffs last year. On the AFC, Kansas City, Buffalo, Baltimore, Houston, LA Chargers, Pittsburgh Steelers, Denver Broncos.
Okay.
And in the NFC, Detroit, Philadelphia, Tampa Bay, Los Angeles Rams, Minnesota Vikings, Washington Commanders, and the Green Bay Packers.
Okay.
So all those teams that I just mentioned, give me a team that will not make the playoffs this year. And let me I'll go to chat first.
Okay, I went back and forth on this one for a little bit, and it was between a couple of teams. And I think, unfortunately, I looked at the Broncos. Unfortunately, I think it's Houston. CJ Stroud took a big step back last year, and I hope with my heart, I hope that that's a fluke, right? But I'm looking at their roster, and they rely on a lot of guys who, let's be honest, they haven't really been good in the NFL in their time in the league, right? They haven't really proven the ability to stay healthy. His numbers were alarming. His quarterback rating went way down. I think he went from 12th in the league to 26th. Over 100 quarterback rating his rookie year to like 87 last year. He more than doubled his number of interceptions. A couple of those were on tip balls and things. I know that. But that's fine. Listen, they were 5-6 outside their division. That division's not strong, right? They're 5-1 in the division, 5-6 out. If anybody even remotely improves in the AFC South, they could have an uphill battle to get to 8 wins this year. And I don't know. I see that. I think 8-9 is a real possibility for them. And that doesn't put them in the playoffs. I think the offensive line is the biggest concern. I mean, their own head coach, D'Amico Ryans, they asked him about the offensive line. He said, I'm tired of talking about the offensive line. So where's your confidence level heading into week 1 against the Rams? And he goes, we'll see. That's not an overwhelming. That's not like, that doesn't give me feelings of optimism, right? Like,
not even.
I just feel like they're in flux right now, and I think there are better days ahead for CJ Stroud. I hope. I don't think this year is going to be one of those years. I think it's going to be a tough year for Houston.
I'll jump in here before TK goes. I'm looking. There's a variety of NFC options.
Yeah.
I think the NFC is going to have a huge turnover this year. I'll pick one team, and this may surprise you.
Okay.
Actually, there's an easy team, Minnesota. Not highly confident in J.J. McCarthy. I think the NFC North is going to be – it's just going to be a dogfight, and I don't know if
good division,
ready. Yeah. In that division. And again, Micah Parsons being in that division, I mean, to me, I see 2 L's. I mean, against Green Bay. Yeah. Detroit's going to be great. I see at least you're probably losing both of those games.
Chicago will be much better.
I think I agree. I think Chicago's a much better team with Ben Johnson as the head coach. I think you're going to lose one of those games.
They're much more offensive minded now with a great quarterback, a potentially great quarterback there, and a good offensive line, a better offensive line.
And remember with Chicago, before Jaden Daniels had that Hail Mary at the end, Chicago was 4-2 going into that game. Like, they were trending in the right direction and it fell apart. The easy answer for me is Minnesota. I'll give you a surprise answer.
Okay.
The Los Angeles Rams.
Okay.
And here's why. how much can Matthew Stafford hold up?
Yeah. Okay.
If I don't trust, Matthew Stafford, he's pretty much limping into the season, just being cleared. If Stafford is not ready to go, can they make a trade to bring in a quarterback? Because I think, Puka's an unbelievable talent at receiver.
Yep.
I love Williams in the backfield, but there is kind of like Miami. If you don't have the quarterback to make it all go, then the operation is going to fall apart.
Yeah.
And Sean McVay, I know he's an offensive mind, but kind of like Mike McDaniels, if you don't have a smart quarterback under center, then the system breaks down.
Yep.
And I just don't think there's enough good quarterbacks out there that you could trade for, that's available in free agency, that you could just pick up when Matthew Stafford goes down, and for the Rams to keep going. So that's Minnesota to me is the easy one, but I'm also picking the Rams because I just don't think Matthew Stafford can hold up.
Fair.
Go ahead, TK.
All right. I definitely agree with the Los Angeles Rams possibly being in danger with the health of Matthew Stafford being in limbo. But for me, I'm definitely going to go with the Washington Commanders. Pretty crazy considering they made the NFC Championship game last year, especially with the amazing years that Jaden Daniels had. Terry McLaurin was amazing as well. Not to mention you got some great production from that defense as well. But I just want you to look deeply into this roster. We got a few holes to fill. You traded Brian Robinson foolishly to the 49ers. Now you have Austin Eckler as your starting RB1 now. Sam Cosmi, their right tackle, is out with a significant lower body injury. He's not going to be back until possibly after the bye week, probably late into November. That defense, they got a lot of old 2018 and 2019 All-Pros on there. They got Von Miller, Bobby Wagner's back. Marshawn Lattimore looks a little past his prime now, so I'm worried about that defense. The quarterbacks that they played last year that they were able to beat, Daniel Jones, Kenny Pickett, Spencer Rattler, Jake Hayner. Listen, you ain't playing them guys this year. You ain't playing them guys this year. A lot better, much harder schedule.
Bottom of the barrel.
Right. I do think Dan Quinn is an amazing head coach. I do think they will still be a solid football team. But 12-5 and going to the NFC Championship game, I don't think so. Washington Commanders for me.
Okay.
I think, you look at that Commander schedule, and you're right. I mean, it's just this will not be a cupcake at all. And, Jaden Daniels is not going to surprise anybody anymore.
Right.
Like, he's I'm excited to watch him play, but
absolutely.
Yeah, you're right. And again, as I said before, Philadelphia, I mean, those are going to be tough matchups. I think Dallas offensively, they're great. So we'll see. Let's flip it. A team that did not make the playoffs. I think we know TK's answer for this question. That will make the playoffs this year. TK, you're first. I think we know the answer, though.
All right. Team that didn't make the playoffs last year that will make the playoffs this year. You guys said it yourselves. You already know. Got the Carolina Panthers. I definitely think this is going to be the year where they all put it together. A ton of young talent there. Those guys are very anxious. Their young leader, Bryce Young, he's getting a ton of respect in that locker room. Like I said, the solid finish to the end of last season definitely gives a lot of people a lot of anticipation. Definitely excited to see this young man excel in year 3. I definitely think the defense will be better. Personnel has been cleaned up a bit. We talked about getting Derek Brown back. We also talked about the Trayvon Morig and Christian Rosenboom signings. I definitely think this wide receiver room that they have is extremely exciting, even with losing Adam Thielen, trading him back to the Minnesota Vikings, and losing Jalen Coker for the first 4 to 6 weeks of the season. I do have this team going 11-6 and winning the NFC South barely over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I do think both teams will make the postseason. Tampa Bay is too good not to make the preseason, got the postseason. Got a lot of love for Baker Mayfield and those guys down there in Florida. But I do think the NFC South belongs to the Carolina Panthers this year. If they play everything right, This is a very feisty bunch. Took a lot of teams to the brink last year. You think about both Super Bowl teams that they played last year. The game against Kansas City, Bryce Young was outstanding. 263 yards, 2 touchdown passes. They had that game, gave up a big play late in that game. I think it was about a 40-some yard play, 30 or 40-yard run by Patrick Mahomes that got him in the field goal range, and Harrison Butker was able to drill the game winner. Spencer Schrader was kicking for them that game. Sorry, Harrison Butker was out with an injury. And the game against the Philadelphia Eagles, not the greatest game from Bryce Young. Had an early pick that was pretty bad, but the rest of the game he was able to steer the ship. Had a drive that started inside of the 5-yard line. They were making great progress. Bryce Young ripped off a deep ball down the seams to Zay Leggett. He unfortunately dropped it. That would have won the game for him. To be that resilient against teams with that much of a gap as far as talent goes, as far as experience goes. You're taking both of these Super Bowl teams to the brink, not to mention that they took Tampa to the brink later on that season. The phantom drop in the end zone by Adam Thielen that was called not a touchdown. The ball never hit the ground. How was that not a touchdown? That was one of the most egregious calls of that entire season for me. But
because it was Carolina, nobody's going to talk about it.
Exactly. It was an absolutely terrible call.
Ooh, if it was Kansas City.
Oh, they would have flipped it immediately. They'd have flipped that immediately.
Yeah, if Travis Kelce would have dropped that ball,
they would have fixed that call swiftly.
Right, absolutely. But like I said, the offense is great. I love their offensive line. It's one of my favorite units in all of the NFL. I expect improvement from obviously you want more improvement from Ike Ekwonu. Not necessarily where you need him to be as that franchise right tackle, but left tackle, the franchise left tackle. But he did make significant strides last year, looked better towards the end, especially in pass pro. Obviously, I love both guards, Damian Lewis and Robert Hunt. These running backs are going to be used a ton. I don't expect the 1,100-yard season that we got from Chuba Hubbard last year, but he should hover around 900, splitting carries with Rico Dowdle. You also have Raheem Blackshear on the roster as well, who might garner a little bit of attention, more so in the passing game. But yeah, this Carolina Panthers team, they're young, they're hungry, they have talent now. The void of talent isn't as visible as it was last year. And for them to be able to win 5 games and be able to take those teams to the brink, in which they did, I definitely expect bigger things from this unit. Dave Canales is looking to prove himself as a head coach in the NFL. Panthers are going to go 11-6 and win the NFC South, in my opinion.
Okay.
Chad, you're up next.
Real quick, I just want to say about Bryce Young. I'm proud of him, man. It's good to see him. Resiliency, man. You said resilient. He took a beating. And everywhere. I mean, social media, the media, everywhere. He took a beating. And just psychologically for him to come back and have the kind of year that he did, it was good to see. He seems poised to take a step forward. But for me, this one's easy. I'm going to go with the 49ers. I'm not going to the entire 53-man roster and all the coaching staff like TK did, but I'm good. I'm just kidding, man. But no, it's the Niners.
You're good, baby.
No, I'm kidding. Yeah, 2-6 in one-score games last year. The 8 games decided by 1 score or less. They were 2-6 in those games. I mean, you talk about a ball bouncing the other way here, a call going the other way there, and they turned that around immediately just on that alone. They also had the toughest schedule in the NFL last year. They don't have that this year. They have the easiest schedule. Right. So if they can stay healthy, I know this is a lot on Christian McCaffrey. Whatever, bad joke. He's flushing next Sunday. Is he going to stay healthy or not? Leg injuries from running backs scare me, but McCaffrey's a dynamic guy. If he's on the field and they can, if they're relatively healthy this year, I mean, they should go 11-6. That's an easy playoff. They're in the playoffs. I don't know how far they go, but that's an easy playoff berth for them. That's it. I just think it's the Niners. I think everything, the whole recipe is there for them to eat. Right? I think it's there.
We want to know if CMC, if he stays healthy, man. That's the toughest question fantasy wise.
Yeah. He's the guy.
Do you take that risk? We'll see. Let me go to the AFC because I think you guys had great picks. I think the AFC is a little bit tougher. Mm-hmm. I like New England.
Okay, yeah.
I like New England, especially
Yep.
if, look at it this way, if Miami falls off a little bit, and again, I think Miami will be good, but like if we don't know about Tua, but if Miami falls off, Jacksonville, hopefully they don't do well, so we get that draft pick, and they're passing a lot.
Yeah.
But come on.
Please be bad.
New England has the formula. New England has the formula. They're going to have we know how good they are going to be running the football.
Yep.
And then, to me, I look at New England's offense a little bit like Philly in the making.
Yeah. Okay.
When you have a dynamic quarterback who has the potential, he's going to improve as far as accuracy of passing the football, but he can utilize his legs. And you got to account, once he becomes RB1, I don't know if he'll be RB1 this week, but once he becomes RB1 with, Travion Henderson, New England's going to be a tough. They're going to win some games, and I'm looking at that wild card spot. Maybe they're a 6th or 7th seed, but that's in. I mean, that's getting in. And we don't know, like, Denver and Pittsburgh. And the Chargers had an impressive win, but those are the 3 wild card teams last year. It's boom or bust for Aaron Rodgers with the Steelers. Literally, it's boom or bust. Denver, let's see. We're going to see the true magic of Sean Payton. Maybe.
Real quick, I think it's funny that both the quarterbacks in the AFC North, I was going to say both quarterbacks are in the AFC North right now that get mail from AARP. I think that's kind of cool. Like, right? I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah, true. Yeah, you may have something there.
Right here in the division, man. It's fun.
Oh, my God. All right, let's take a quick break. One final segment to go. We got one college thing we have to address, and then final Super Bowl picks. But we're glad to have you with us. Inside Edge Network, brand new, day one. Cannot wait. Actually, not just cannot wait. We're doing it right now. We've been saying can't wait for a little while. No, we're doing it right now. Anthony Alford, Chad Bryan, TK Dandridge, back with you in just a moment.
Every year and on their broadcast well, so it's super exciting.
All right, welcome back. Final segment of this unbelievable Inside Edge NFL preview show, day one of the Inside Edge podcasting network. And because it's day one, we're recording this. And I say this because we will soon have the ability to distribute things live on our Twitter, on Instagram, on YouTube, on Facebook, maybe more. But it's day one, and Elon says you need a premium account for stuff. and then there's other things. Man, it's hard out here to be a player.
Gotta have a blue check mark to do anything fun, man. Wow.
Man, it's hard. It's hard out here in these streets, but we're doing it. We appreciate your support. We got a ton of programming coming up this week. In fact, overall this month, we will launch 9 shows. So we are full go. We're going to have a pregame show for you. We'll soon have a postgame show for you for football. I'll be on the main event with my buddy Eli Moon. Rob Rizicki will be on there. You will see Chad and TK along with Mr. Deacon on illegal formation this week. Going to have good conversation there. It's going to be a lot of good stuff there. Jersey Chasers. That's going to be Cleveland's only all-female sports and pop culture show. We'll have that for you. Awesome. And, of course, Side Hustle Wrestling Podcast will be a part of the network as well. Just a ton of cool things. Real Talk with Papa Moon. That's our mental health show. We're going to have a Guardians and Cavs show. We just can't wait. We got a lot of stuff debuting. A music show we're going to debut this year. So a lot of things to get after. Real quick, before we do the Super Bowl picks, I did want to sneak in one college football topic for you guys. And it was, the Big Ten commissioner saying, hey, we could do 24. We could do a 2018 college football playoff system. And I hate to say this. I actually think it's a good idea.
Okay.
I actually think it's a great idea.
Okay. Not even lie, Alex, I do agree with you. Sorry to cut you off, by the way.
Actually, go ahead, TK. Go ahead.
Having I have already said this before. I thought the 12-team playoff came very late. The thing about college football, normally, especially with Power 5 schools, if you lose one game, your season's over. And I always thought that was horse hockey, especially if you're a good football team. Your season I should never hear our season's over talk at 9-3 or 10-2
or 11-1.
Our season is over, and we have an 83 point, or we have a win percentage of 833 or higher, but our season's over. I always thought that was goofy. I think if you make because I always think about college football and how March Madness is and how brilliant that is with the 64-team format. Now, we know that football is a much more dangerous sport, and we cannot do 64 teams. However, anywhere between 24 to 32 is definitely acceptable. Think of the possible upsets that we would have on our hands with a 24 to 32-team format. I think it's going to be brilliant. It'll give us some of that riz that March Madness has. We'll obviously not be able to get the whole thing, but we'll get at least a touch of that. And like I said, this is long overdue to expand this format. It's been very limited for a long period of time. And if they want to go 24 teams, 28 teams, or even 32, I say go ahead and do it.
And here's what I'm thinking, and I don't know if Chad agrees or disagrees with us. Hear from him in a second. Here, I'll add to all this. All of us last week were at Scorchers, meeting, and prepping for this network, and we watched Texas, Ohio State. I have to imagine. I'm just sitting there thinking, would that place had not been packed if at the end of the season there was a 32-team playoff? Like, it would still be packed. Mm-hmm. It would still be, this is a big game. Fans want to see big games. And that's the thing. When back in the BCS days, when it was just top two, go to the national title, you have polls, you have all this stuff.
Yep.
You're not seeing Ohio State, Texas scheduled yearly.
Nope.
You're not seeing like multiple top 10 matchups in college football yearly.
In week one.
in week one. You don't see that because in the old system, you lose that game, your season's done.
Too much risk, yeah.
That's it. It's too much risk. But think about it now. Okay, Ohio State won last week, which is great. We love it as Buckeye fans. But what happens if, hey, guess what? In a playoff, you got to play Texas again.
Yeah.
Like, for the interest of college football, that's huge. Yep. That's way bigger than, in my theory, you don't lose a single fan if you expand the playoffs to 24, 28, 32 teams. Like, you don't expand the field. My sweet spot number would be 28 because at least you would incentivize, like the top 4 teams would get a bye. Yeah. So if we had a debate which number would be perfect, I'll say 28. But I agree with TK. To me, the number doesn't really overly matter. It's just like, give me a reason why, Indiana football should matter. Give me a reason why, if you're the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th best team in your conference, but you had a great season, you should be rewarded with a playoff berth. Yeah. You should be able to get in, because us as Buckeye fans, Chad, I'm just assuming you're a Buckeye fan.
I am. Yeah, I am.
Okay.
Absolutely. Die hard.
Us as Buckeye fans, our experience of watching college football is way different from many other teams. Yeah. We expect to compete for championships every year. We're in the conversation every year. There's a different standard. But that doesn't mean that if you root for Indiana, there's just on my mind right now. If you root for Indiana, that doesn't mean that, we should root for a great winning season, but never compete for a title. If you have a great season, you should be in the conversation to have an opportunity to compete for a national title, even though Ohio State would probably still be favored. So I think getting more teams involved, I have no problem with that at all. Yeah. But that's just me. I know a lot of traditionalists, they love we got to have, every week of the regular season matters. I remember in 2006, the big Ohio State-Michigan game. Yeah. Do you guys remember, the previous 5 weeks leading up to that game?
Nope. Absolutely, I do.
All those games were trash.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because we're spending half the season waiting for Ohio State,
Michigan.
Praying they're both 11-0. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Come on. Yeah. Yep.
But that's just me. I think you know what? I know, it's shady for the Big Ten to want automatic qualifiers, but the SEC wants it too. Sure. And then the ACC's going to get theirs. Big 12's going to get theirs. Yep. And just I went to Bowling Green. I would like for BGSU, if Eddie George has a great season with them, I would like for BG to be in the playoff.
Yeah.
Under this current system, BG doesn't have a shot to be in the playoff.
None.
But that then leads to the question: if we do a possible 24 to 32 team format, are we going off of the AP's top 25? Or are we going USA Today's top 25?
It'll be the CFP poll. It'll be some amalgamation of automatic qualifiers and
okay.
It'll be weird. I'm sure.
Here's my other thing. Okay. Here's actually the biggest reason why I want to move to this. Week 1, I'm flipping. College football is covered like cable news.
Yeah.
ESPN. It's all SEC. How could a Big Ten do this? And then of course you go to Fox. That's our network. Big Ten. And everything like that. The selection committee can pick 24 teams.
Sure.
I don't care about that. I don't want to hear conversations about the fairness of the select. In my eyes, I want the selection committee to be completely eliminated from any conversation involving college football.
Okay.
Just give me, if it's 24, 28, if you're not one of the best 28 teams, you shouldn't be there anyway.
Fair.
So we're not going to sit there and debate teams 28 and 29. Just give me, the teams that qualified. You're going to get those teams. I don't think there's any question you're going to get those teams. I just want the selection committee and the talk and the conversation of the selection committee to be eliminated from national discussion. We can still talk week in and week out about who's the best teams in college football. We can still do a top 25 ranking. We can even still do a college football playoff top 25 ranking for discussion and sports talk. But at the end of the day, I don't want Condoleezza Rice to determine who is going to compete for a national title.
That's fair.
Or the My Pillow guy.
Yeah.
Or you know, I don't want Donald Trump or Barack Obama determining the playoff teams.
Executive orders for like Marshall to get in at 8-4. Right. Yeah, you don't want that. You don't want that.
All right, go ahead, Chad. TK and I think we stand on the same ground with this, but I don't know what you think.
Well, okay, so here's what I'm not really I'm old, so you'd think I would be a traditionalist, but I'm more new school, right? When it comes to this kind of stuff. I think like theoretically it's fantastic. First of all, you're printing money with this, right? Like the sponsors, the TV deals, it's literally college football prints money, right? That's why I want to say first, I'm glad these guys finally get paid for their name, image, and likeness. That's huge. That's huge, right? But here are my concerns, because we talked about TK, you brought it up. I thought you made a very succinct point about how, just how good March Madness is and how it's a spectacle, right? Like Thursday and Friday, like production goes way down across the country because Thursday and Friday are the days, right? Like all the buzzer beaters, you're bouncing back and forth on CBS. I think they have games on Oxygen or something. Who knows what channels they're on? Right. It's wild, right? They're all over the place. And it's fun. It's really, it's a blast. In college football, the first round could be that way as well. You could have games going on at the same time. Put it up on your multi-view. I have YouTube TV. I put it up on 4 games at a time, and I'm switching back and forth with the audio. It's awesome. I love it. And I love the idea of a 2018 playoff. Logistically, though, I have concerns. It's a heavy workload for college kids, right? They're already going into an NFL season. Not all of them. 1%, less than 1%, are going into an NFL season where they're going to play 17 games anyway. You've got 2 teams are going to play 17 games under this new format. It's going to happen. Right now, you've got an outside shot for a team to get 17 games in. If they're in a lower division, they win, they win the conference championship. That's the 13th game. They don't get a bye. They're going to have to go through the playoffs. So they're going to get 17 games, but now you're going to have teams playing 17 games. It's guaranteed. It's promised, right? Here's my other concern about it. It butts up weird against the transfer portal date, right? Right now, they're going to have to move it because the transfer portal, I think, is January 2nd. It's in the middle of the playoffs. So how does that make any sense? So they're going to eliminate the spring portal, but now you've got tampering concerns because you've got 8 or however many teams still alive going, hey, man, there's 6 guys from like Oklahoma in the transfer portal. Oklahoma's in the playoffs. We could play them next round. Let's grab all of them, right? You may not have a spot on that team, but you want them on campus because, hey, what did you guys do for the first 14 games this year, right? Like, what's the secret of the offense? What Connor Stallions, right? Like, hey, what's the signal for this? What there's a lot of espionage opportunities there. I don't love that. I think you introduce tampering, you introduce a heavy workload. Everything else, man, I love it. I just don't think there should be a mass exodus of players leaving a program that's still alive competing for a national title. I think that's weird.
Right.
Let me ask you guys this. Is it more valuable for a player to compete in a playoff, even if you get bounced in the first couple rounds, than it is to compete in an exhibition bowl game? I'm not even talking about like Rose Bowl or anything like that. I'm talking about the bowl games you see like in the first week. Like, is it more valuable to a college athlete where in the world of NIL to compete in a playoff than it would be to be in the Pop-Tart Bowl?
Although, hey, don't sleep on the Pop-Tart Bowl, though, man. They got something going. Like, that may be the national championship game in a few years.
Listen, they have the poster, and then the Pop-Tarts fly out. I love the
edible mascot. I mean, you can't do that.
By the way,
you can't do that in the Meineke Car Care Bowl. There can't be an edible. Yeah, you can't do that.
Yeah, don't sleep now. There will be a marijuana sponsor for one of these bowl games one day.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, I mean, what do you guys think about that? Because that I'm trying to think from a student athlete position in the world of NIL, where in the past, you go to a bowl game, you get gifts. Like if you're in a PlayStation Bowl, you get PlayStation games, things like that.
That used to be the most valuable part about playing in the bowl games.
Right.
Swag bag. But now, like you said, I think the answer is unequivocally yes. I mean, I think it's more valuable to play in the playoff. Yeah.
Definitely.
I mean, you would have more scouts too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and again, there are still tiers in college football. Like, I know, as a BG alum, I know if we went to the playoff in our first games against Ohio State, I expect Ohio State to boat race us. But
maybe.
But to compete, to have that spotlight, to be on the Ohio State campus, first week of the playoff, and what happens if Bowling Green gets the opening kickoff for the touchdown?
Yeah.
In a 7-0 Bowling, you're watching the other game from Multiview, and then oh my goodness, Bowling Green's up 7-0.
Yeah.
Return. Eddie George is the head coach at Bowling Green.
Yeah.
Even if Ohio State still wins that game 70-7, it's still that early. Yeah,
as Ohio State fans, we've seen that there's really not an advantage to returning that opening kickoff for a touchdown. It can go poorly. It can go really poorly, really quickly.
Congratulations. You scored.
10 he's hurt.
Right. Next thing we know, it's 41-7.
You guys are right, though. Like, logistically, you have to look at the transfer portal.
More so,
you got to move it back to February or something. They got to do something.
Abuse of the transfer portal.
Yeah,
that's the big thing. Is the abuse of it.
Well, we shouldn't have players who aren't in the transfer portal suddenly on another roster in 3 days. Going, how did that happen? That
happened.
There's tampering there, right? Like that. Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, and how many players have we seen? I see some of these teams like, they have a fifth-year senior at quarterback. They've competed on 4 teams already in college.
Right.
It's like, first off, how do all those credits transfer over 4 times, or 5 times? That's crazy. They, the conferences will have to figure out, do you still run with a conference championship game? What do you do there?
No.
And if the answer is no, then television may not be happy because a good chunk of the revenue is from the conference title games.
Yeah.
So how do you go if ESPN has full rights to the expanded college football playoff? How do you go to Fox Sports and say, hey, you don't have rights to the Big Ten championship anymore because we're not going to do it?
Yeah, they'd rather see Ohio State, Penn State, or Michigan, Ohio State again in that week 15-16 matchup than, like you said, Ohio State, Bowling Green there, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's the moneymaker. Yep. All right, last thing before we wrap. It's been a great show. I think it's been a great show. Super Bowl predictions. Super Bowl 60 coming up in February.
Wow.
And I think let T-Bone, you don't have Carolina in the Super Bowl, do you?
Bryce Young, Super Bowl MVP?
No, not the Super Bowl. Not this year.
All right.
Not this year, he said. All right.
Not this year. Chad, I'm going to go to you first.
Okay.
Give me the Super Bowl matchup.
Okay.
And the winner.
Oh, okay. So like I said, I thought last night before we watched, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu with Travis Kelce taking out Xavier Wither. I thought the Chiefs looked like they were poised to take a step back. I mean, like I said, you get older. I mean, everybody gets older, right? You can't avoid that. Not taking a shot at the Chiefs. It's been fun to watch them. I'm not one of these people that I don't start to hate a team because they're winning, right? Like you want to study them and see what they're doing and see how. Well, I can't apply that to my favorite team, but I just maybe the Browns can learn something from them. Whatever. The key is finding a quarterback, but I think we all know that. I feel like the Chiefs were 15-2 last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Talk about a team that won 15 games. They outscored their opponents by 59 points. That's just under 3.5 points per game. That kind of a run can't keep going your way forever. You can't win that close of games and go 15-2 every year. So I think it opens the door for, like I said earlier, a couple of quarterbacks in the AFC who haven't been to the Super Bowl yet. Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. I think you could see the AFC Championship game come down to the Ravens and Bills this year. That being said, the Ravens have this track record until they don't do it anymore. You have to assume they're going to do it. They're going to tighten up. They're going to play rough in the playoffs. They're going to drop passes, whatever. Mark Andrews, you mentioned it. Big drops. Lamar Jackson still plays well, but I think the Bills get to the Super Bowl out of the AFC this year. The NFC was tough for me, and this is all on literally and figuratively. Okay, this is on Micah Parsons' back now. because the Packers had a couple of games last year against the Eagles. I almost said the Phillies. They played Philadelphia twice last year, right? They played in Brazil. They lost 34-29. Jordan Love went down with a knee injury. He was out for a couple of weeks. Ironically, they won those 2 games where he was out. They lost the 2 games bracketing where he was there in week 1 and then came back. They lost the 2 games. That's a fluke. That's a little bit of a blip. That's fine. He's a good quarterback. I think he's poised to take that step toward being a great quarterback. You've now, if he's healthy, you've got one of the top 3 defenders in the league in Micah Parsons. Yeah, it's a tough division. I know, but I mean, they may be the class of that division if Parsons is healthy and if Love takes that next step. Because even you saw like in the playoffs, right? They played the Eagles. Jordan Love throws 3 interceptions, and somehow the Packers only lose 22-10 to the eventual Super Bowl champion. They're right there in that game despite not playing well at all and not getting anything from the quarterback. I think the Packers take that next step. I think I think you're looking at a Bills-Packers Super Bowl. Do you want my score? Do you want my winner now? Or you guys want to go on and
just give me the winner?
Okay, I think the Bills finally get their first championship this year. I think they beat the Packers 34-21.
That man. I would love to see that matchup. I would love to see that matchup. That would be really fascinating.
And I said 34-21 because I don't know how healthy Parsons is going to be at that time. I mean, he may be at the end of his rope by that point. I don't know that he's going to. I don't know that he'll make that big of a difference in that Super Bowl if he's still, if the Packers are still alive. I think the Bills win that game.
How much would that hold up? Yeah, we'll see. TK, your Super Bowl matchup and winner.
All right. First of all, I want to apologize for that. PC went down for just a bit. Had to find the charge and get that back up. But
yeah, me too. That's why I took the break. I'm like, oh crap! I see that low battery.
I'm at 4%.
Start the sprint.
Yeah, there you go. Let's see. For the Super Bowl, my NFC representatives are going to be the Philadelphia Eagles. I believe that they beat the Packers in the conference championship game. And for the AFC, I'm going to agree with Chad. I'm going to take the Bills to go represent the AFC. I have them beating the Ravens in the AFC championship to move on to the Super Bowl. And as far as the winner, well, I'd hate to give you Super Bowl loss number 5, Buffalo, but I got to give it to you. Philadelphia is going to win that thing 35-24.
Okay. Philly's my pick to represent the NFC. I said at the beginning of the show, I think they're that good.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be a ton of turnover in the NFC. I do. Who they face in the NFC Championship? I like Green Bay. And I now here's my thing about Parsons. I think we'll see a scenario, knowing that this is an 18-week regular season. I do think there's a scenario where, like, maybe Parsons might, take some time during the season.
Yeah.
But I think he might be ready to go. And offensively, Green Bay is still, I like Matthew Golden. I like a few of their other guys, of course. And Green Bay as a team, if they can stay healthy, they have the talent.
Yeah.
And again, this is not to sleep on Detroit, but Detroit has a new offensive and defensive direction.
Yeah. Yep.
And I don't know how that's going to be utilized.
Yep.
I understand maybe we should put more respect in Jared Goff's name, but I've seen some stinkers from Jared Goff.
Sure.
Like he'll have a couple games. Like I think Detroit won a game last season after he threw like 5 interceptions.
Yeah, he threw 5 interceptions against Houston, and they ended up coming back and winning that game 26-23.
They still won that game.
Hence my pick for Houston not making the playoffs this year.
Like, that's crazy. But I just think Philadelphia has the total package. In the AFC, people might hate me for this. Until they get over the hump, I can't pick Buffalo and I can't pick Baltimore.
Fair.
I think Kansas City goes back.
Okay.
I think you're going to get the Super Bowl rematch between Philly and Kansas City. I think you'll get the same blowout as we saw this past year. But at least this go around, Taylor Swift will perform at halftime.
She's already engaged, so we don't have to worry about anything happening. We don't have to worry about any theatrics after the show. I think it's all good. They're already engaged. They're happy. They're fine. It's no worry.
Travis Kelce will announce when the playoff run starts that he's going to retire.
Okay.
At the end of the playoff run. It's going to be all KC as far as coverage. Like, it's this year they're going to do it. But every time Kansas City has lost in the Super Bowl in the Patrick Mahomes era, it's always been because the defenses, whether it's Tampa or Philly, has always pressured the living you-know-what out of Mahomes.
Yep.
Mahomes is not a robot. He is a human.
Yep.
And if you can speed up everything, he's in trouble.
There's only so much escapability to go around, man.
By this point in time, Carter won't be spitting on anybody. The defense,
they're going to keep him dehydrated to make sure.
Exactly. Yeah. They're going right. They're going to come around and they're going to figure things out. I think you're going to see Philly and KC again. KC will only get there because Buffalo will do something to shoot themselves in the foot again.
It's possible.
Baltimore will do something. Well, and again, it may not even be the case of Baltimore and Buffalo. That's the other big thing. I'm stumbling a little bit, but that's the other big thing. In last year's playoffs, one of the playoff matchups was Baltimore at Buffalo. So Kansas City, all these years, they don't have to face both of those guys.
See, that's where I think that step back comes into play. If they don't go 15-2, I think they have to play one of those teams a little bit earlier.
They'll have to.
Yeah.
I'll give you a wild card though, or a team to watch. Can Cincinnati get back into form in the playoff? And I say this whether or not they beat the Browns in week 1 or not.
Yeah.
Can Cincinnati can Joe Burrow stay healthy for a year? Can Jamar Chase be that dude? T. Higgins be that dude? I love that Chase Brown is taking over. Joe Mixon was there for a long time, but now Chase Brown's taking over things. Can their defense hold up to get in? And for me, Cincinnati and even San Francisco, if those two teams get back in the playoffs, there will be discussion about those two teams. And the Super Bowl I want to see Buffalo overcome. I want to see Baltimore overcome.
Yeah.
A Cincinnati San Francisco Super Bowl would be fun.
Man. Round 3.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
And I think this go around Cincinnati could do some things, but we'll see. But I have KC Philadelphia with Philadelphia winning. Chad, what was yours again?
Bills over Packers.
And then T-Bone?
Eagles over the Bills.
That's right. All right. Well, show one's in the books. We survived.
Made it. Some of our PCs didn't make it, but we made it.
Yeah, we got it. Hey, we made it through we made it through the first game.
And now we know Carolina's entire 53-man roster. We know that.
Hey, listen. I got more knowledge on the Carolina Panthers
than I've ever needed in my life.
After this show, I am locked in on the Carolina Panthers.
I'm gonna go get a Bryce Young jersey and have the whole team sign it. I know the names I'm looking for now.
Well, I want to thank first off Peter Tulloch for again setting up this whole network, all this stuff. TK and Chad, you guys did an unbelievable job. And,
Thank you.
And I did an okay job. So
thought you were a little better than okay. It's hard to host, man. People don't realize that.
Oh, man, Al.
Man, listen. Again, great programming. For those listening, we might do like an audio version of this too. For those listening, follow the Inside Edge Network on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook at Inside Edge Net. That's how you can follow us at Inside Edge Net. And we'll have all of our programming. The recordings will be there. We'll put up content, poll questions, things like that, opinion pieces, all that stuff on those sites. And we'll continue to build all this. You're going to see great shows. Chad, we'll have your pregame tomorrow morning.
Yes.
I think we can go live. We're going to try to go live.
Let's do it.
But if not, we'll still do the pregame.
We should have called that show Factory of Chadness, by the way. We should have done that.
Well, soon we will launch the Funeral March postgame show.
Yes.
All right.
3-14 incoming.
That's right. All right. We got some college football. I have laundry to do, so I have to wrap this up.
Same.
All right. So thank you guys for joining us. For TK, for Chad, Anthony Alford signing off. You guys have a great weekend and welcome to the brand new Inside Edge Network.